what's up? It's your boy Pharaoh 40220, CEO and President of Black Lightning Express LLC, based out of Louisville, Kentucky, leased on the Mercer Transportation. You know, I want to talk to you guys today. Some of the new people coming in, trucking, wanting to get information about what to do. You know, I'm really gonna try to explain a little bit, like the process and stuff like that you would need to do, and some of the things that goes on with the trucking industry. Number one, just in case if my video cuts off in the middle of me saying something, that means somebody had called my phone and they cut the video off, and then I'll have to resume after the call or whatnot. So just so you know. All right. So the first thing is, you want to get into the trucking industry. You know, I believe that, everybody is entitled to making the best decision possible. So that's why, it's good to do a lot of researching. You do a lot of researching to get the information that you want to know. For example, who has the best company out there? Who pays the most? How often do you get home? What kind of freight are you going to be carrying? What kind of trailer are you going to be using? How often are you paid? What about advances, if they're good for you or not? All these different things, you got to take in consideration that, a lot of these things that these companies give you, people take for granted. When you're doing your research for some of these companies, the top three things that you want to know is, number one, how often are you paid? How often are you getting home? And what is your rate of pay? Okay, once you figure out those three things, the next thing that you want to be interested in is what type of commodity do you carry? Is it on a van? Is it on a refrigerator? Or is it on a flatbed? Each one of them have their different pros and cons. Okay? Refrigerated loads, you tend to sit around a lot more because they're live loads, live unloads, because it's fresh product that needs to be refrigerated. Van items, you can have live loads and live unloads also, and you may not sit as long, but you may sit around as long. Flatbed, step deck, oversized, you may not sit there that long at all, but you gotta load it yourself. Not really load it yourself, but you gotta secure it, and you gotta tarp it mainly. So that takes in the same time frame. So altogether, you could be sitting anywhere from 5 minutes up until 6, 7, 8, 10, 12 hours. It all just depends, The next thing is, when you find a company that fits your requirements, now you have to apply for that company, Make sure you're truthful and honest upfront and everything, because you don't want them finding out something different, because that'll kick back your application. If you didn't tell them about everything, they normally want to go back about 10 years. So they want to go back 10 years, finding out about your history and everything, which is just understandable. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't hire somebody without knowing their background. And that's what these companies are doing. They want to know your background. It's not just for them. It's for their receivers and their customers also, because they want to know who's carrying their freight. You don't want to just get a load of medical supplies and then you got somebody who's not trustworthy that goes out and steals your freight and sells it. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to do all that. So yeah, they're gonna trust you with a lot of dollars of freight. So they want to do a background check. It's nothing to get upset about. Okay. Once you get into the actual schooling, if you're doing their school, a lot of times these companies will offer you the schooling as long as you work for them once you finish. That's a good idea. The reason why is because you have a guaranteed job. Okay, once you finish your school, you can do 1 year, 2 years with them, and that pretty much helps you pay your schooling off. If not, you got to pay cash for your schooling, or whoever's paying for it, you got to pay cash for your schooling, and that's a big chunk of money right up front. Okay, so if you can get in with a program that allows you to do the school then work for them, that's even better. You don't have to worry about job placement. You already got a job. Now, the best thing to do is do your time there. Learn the job. Don't rush to try to, do anything extra like moving on to a lease or owner-op or whatnot. Learn the company driver job first. Learn how to, manage your time. Managing your time is trip planning. Learn how to manage your fuel. That's also part of trip planning. Learn how to, navigate. A lot of people don't grow up using maps like we did in the military, so you may not know how to read a map. That's where if the school is teaching you how to read a map, that's a great school. If they don't teach you how to read a map, I would be leery about that. But learn how to read a map. Only rely on the GPS as a backup, just for time and distance or whatnot. But learn how to read a map. Learn how to navigate which way you're going. Know the difference between east and west and north and south, and the different highways and stuff. Learn the different back roads by looking at them on the map. Okay, I'm gonna tell you again. You can go to some of these U.S. Cavalry military stores and buy like map pens, which you're able to write on the illuminated map, or you can use highlighters. You can use any way that you can, understand the route. And that's the best thing to do is highlight your route. That way you know which way you're going to go. You don't have to worry about anything. You just follow the highlighted area. Okay? Excuse me. Early morning. But next thing is managing your time. Knowing how long it's going to take you to run a trip. Including your 10-hour breaks or whatever, 12-hour breaks or whatever, how much time you have in between there. So, for example, you get a load. The load is telling you that, hold on. This load that I'm currently on right now, all right, is 1,375 miles, okay? So I get out my calculator, 1375. I divide it by 55 miles an hour. Tells me it's going to take me 25 hours to run this load. Now, granted, I can go faster than 25. I can go faster than 75 hours. I can go faster than 55 miles an hour. That's what I meant to say. But you trip plan at 55 because it gives you an average speed across the interstates. Okay. And so then if you can go faster, then that's fine. But if you trip plan at 55, it's telling you that, hey, it's going to take you 25 hours to run this trip. All right, that 25 hours, you can drive 11 hours a day. So that means you're going to be at like 2.5 days. Okay, so then basically 2.5 days is a full 11-hour clock. But you're probably not going to run a full 11-hour clock. If you break it down, how many days are they giving you on the load? I picked this load up on December 11th. It doesn't deliver until December 15th in the morning. Okay, like 7:30 in the morning. Is that right? Yeah, 07:30 on the 15th. So basically, they gave me 4 days to get there. 4 days. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, 5 days to get there. Counting the bit on, I picked it up at like 7 o'clock in the morning. So technically 1, 2, 3, 4. And I got the morning of the 15th to drive also. So what I'm going to do is I do 8 hours. You do 8 hours a day. That puts you at 3 days. So that's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. All right, Sunday. Now I'll be 1 hour away from my destination. So then now I can go ahead and take a 34-hour reset. Sunday I'll stop by 5 p.m., shut down. So then when you figure out your time, 5 p.m. on Sunday until 5 p.m. on Monday is 24 hours. 5 p.m. Monday to 3 a.m. Tuesday is 10 hours. So that gives me my 34-hour reset. 3 a.m. Tuesday morning, I'll have a fresh 70-hour clock. I don't deliver until 7:30. I will be 1 hour away. That's fine. So at 5 a.m. in the morning, I'll get up and I will start my pre-trip, and then I will drive to my destination, probably being there around 6:15, 6:30 in the morning. Okay, yeah, I gotta be there at 7:30, but I'll get there around 6:30. Try to get there about an hour early if possible, especially when you have a lot of time on your hand. That way you can get there, and hopefully when they get there, they can go ahead and unload you. Now, say for example, you have a trip like the one I had before. You're going from Sparks, Nevada to Goodyear, Arizona. That load was 756 miles away. All right, I picked that load up on the 8th and it delivered on the 10th. So I went and picked up the load on the 8th and delivered it on the 10th at 8 o'clock on the time, on dot. You know, it was a firm appointment time. I had to be there at 8 o'clock. So when I went and picked up the load, I picked up the load at about 10 o'clock in the morning. And then I drove all the way from Sparks, Nevada, down to another part of Nevada. I forgot the name of the town. And then I got up from there, and I drove from there all the way down to Goodyear. Okay? I was in the truck stop, went ahead, took a break, got up in the morning, drove over there. I was only 9 miles away from my destination. Got up, drove over there, was there about 8 o'clock, and then I already knew that the next load, leaving after Goodyear, Arizona, was going to be picking up in Moreno Valley, California. So this is where I said managing your time would be great, because that load I picked up on the, let's see, I went backwards, went the wrong direction, hold on. That load picked up on the 11th. The load that I delivered in Goodyear was on the 10th. This load picked up on the 11th. So I had plenty of time left over on the 10th that I drove from Goodyear, Arizona, all the way to Ontario, California, and took my 30-minute break. Took my 10-hour break there, where I got up the next morning and went to go pick up my load out of California, and now I'm headed back. Now, granted, my 70-hour clock was low, so I stopped in Arizona, over there in Phoenix, Arizona, and I took my break there. So now from Phoenix today, more than likely I would drive from Phoenix all the way over towards El Paso, Texas, and shut down there. From El Paso, Texas, tomorrow, I will drive from El Paso over to Weatherford, Texas, which is going to put me about an hour away from my destination. So Sunday, I'll be in Weatherford, Texas, and I'll be right there. Now, if I don't want to get a 34-hour reset, I can use Monday as a day to drive from Weatherford, Texas, over to Dallas, Texas, and get to a truck stop over there. Well, then here's the question. Why burn a whole day for 1 hour? You see what I'm saying? So if I can make it from there over to El Paso, I'll probably be able to make it from El Paso all the way over to Dallas and shut down there. That'll probably be my issue. Dallas, to get to the Flying J in Dallas is exit 472. 472. The average speed in Texas is 70 miles an hour. So I can drive at an average of 70. 470 divided by 70. That's about 6.71 hours. Okay? So 6 hours and 42 minutes. Plus, it's 188 miles from I-10, from El Paso to the I-10 mark, from the Texas border to the I-20 mark is 188 miles. So that's another 2 hours and 40 minutes. So therefore, I can drive from El Paso, Texas, all the way to the Flying J in Dallas, Texas, in one day, as long as I have the hours to do so. So then there, I can go ahead and stop Sunday and be in Dallas, take my reset in Dallas, and then not have to go too far. Now, some of these things, besides that, besides the trip planning, you want to also look at the load itself, because if you choose a load that picks up on Monday, delivers on Wednesday, or or Thursday, you got to think of how many days you're on that load. You're on that load Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's 4 days. If you're wanting to do an average of $600 a day, that load needs to be paying at least $2,400, okay? At least at a minimum, $2,400, all right? For Mercer's drivers, we get half our money up front. So that's like $1,200 coming to you. So $1,200 coming to you, you got $1,200 on the other side for your expenses. The first $1,200 is for your fuel or tolls or anything else like that. So then now you got $1,200. You got daily expenses that cost around $115 a day times 4. You know, that's letting you know about how much is coming out from your expenses. Now you subtract that from your leftover money, that $1,200. That's what you got coming out of your check. The rest of it is your paycheck, and then whatever you did not use in the fuel. You know, I've already discussed this situation a little bit before, but you know, for those who don't understand it, if you have a problem with trying to figure out the numbers, let me know. All right. So anyway, the point of the matter is, if you pick up a load on Monday and you deliver on Thursday, when do you want to pick up your next load? Do you want to pick up the next load on Thursday, or do you want to pick up the next load on Friday? You know, it depends. You know, if you're picking up a load on Thursday, and like say you deliver in the morning at 8 a.m., okay, and you're supposed to pick up a load Thursday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So that's basically 5 hours that you have, okay, for them to unload you and for you to get to your next destination. Now here's the thing. What if your next destination is 3 hours away? Okay, if your next destination is 3 hours away, you got to be there by 1 o'clock. That means you got to leave by what, 10 o'clock? You have to leave by 10 o'clock. Now you're giving the receivers 2 hours to unload you. What if it takes them longer than 2 hours to unload you? What if it takes them 4 hours to unload you? Now you're not done until 12, and you need to be at your next destination by 1 o'clock. You're 3 hours away. You're not going to get there until 3. You're 2 hours late. Is that a problem for you? Yeah. My suggestion is, unless you know for a fact that this company is going to unload you with the sense of urgency, I wouldn't pick up a load on Thursday. I would pick up a load on Friday morning that would deliver Monday. Now you can do this all week long. Pick up Monday, deliver Thursday. Pick up Friday, deliver Monday. You know, pick up Tuesday, deliver Thursday, or something like that. You know, it just depends on how you want to work it. 4 days here, 4 days there. As long as you do your job and figure out how much money you're going to make. So let's just say, for example, you pick up a load in South Carolina and you're driving it all the way to the West Coast, okay? Portland, Oregon, or Seattle, Washington, or even Colorado, California. You pick up a load, first thing you want to do, and like anybody else is, you want to get ahead of the load. So you want to haul ass the first day, all right? Get you some time knocked off this load. Second thing is, if you live nearby, you know, if you got a couple days that you can spend on the load, why not spend it at your house? If you can go by your house, then go by your house for a day or two. All right? Now, you go ahead and get yourself back on the road. You're driving down the street, you get to your destination, you're there early. You know, if you don't want to reset out of it, don't worry about it. If you go home before you leave, you'll get a reset out and you'll have fresh hours. So then you won't have to worry about that. But then you won't have to worry about it for 8 days. All right? On that 8th day, you'll be looking at how many hours am I getting back? You know, your recaps work out good. I like to run my clock out and then start running on recaps before I take a 34-hour reset. Because recaps, you can get like 8 hours back here, 14 hours here, 11 hours here, 13 hours here. Depends on how you work and stuff, you know. And just being able to, you know, manage your time, that's what I mean by that. Is looking at your recap hours, you know. If you know how to, you know, check your recap hours, you'll know, you know, by looking at my clock right now, I got 9 hours and 17 minutes left on my 70. That's as of today. But as of tonight at midnight, whatever I don't use, I'm going to get back 11 hours and 16 minutes to go on to that time. And then after that, I'm going to get back 10 hours and 15 minutes. So I have enough time to make it to Dallas, even just with those 2 days right there. All right? Now, once you figure out what the rates are paying you, and if that load is a good paying load, and you trip planned it, and now you see that you can make it, now you call your coordinator and make that load happen. Now you got the load, and now you're running the load, and you're making money. A solo driver, you know, running by himself, you can make at least $3,000 up to $4,000 a week easily. That's easily. If you're making below that, that's because you're not putting yourself in the right loads. If you have a truck payment, your load should be 3 times what your truck payment is. You know, you got a $600 truck payment, you need to be looking for loads paying at least $1,800. You know, there's sometimes when, yeah, you can't find them, you got to take loads paying less than that. But for the most part, majority of your loads should be $1,800 or more. Okay? Anyway, so once you determine that, I would say, you know, as a company driver, you're not going to even worry about that because the company's going to be telling you where to go. This is just something that I want you to learn how to do so that when you are a company driver and they give you a load assignment, break it down like if you were a lease operator. Do half and half of it up front. Okay, so if this was my load and this is what they were paying me, how much would I make? You know, if you know you're making 40 cents a mile and the load is running you 2,200 miles, multiply the 40 cents a mile by the 2,200 to figure out what the pay is. Okay, so then now, just break that down. Just break that down. You know exactly how much the load is paying you. Break it down by the 4-day trip or 2-day trip or whatever, so you know how much you're making per day. You know, how many miles are you going to be driving on this load per day? You know, and see if you have the understanding to make it to be a lease operator. If you have an understanding, then you know, then that's when you further that theory and you go out to be a lease operator. But it's not an easy thing to do. Being a lease, yeah, you can make more money, but you can lose a lot of money too. Because it's not geared for you to make money. They want you to spend more money and not make money. Okay? Owner-op, the same thing. You know, you got more expenses, you got more bills, and yeah, the pay is a little bit more, but that's because you got all these other things to pay for. You know? So, I know I talk about the same stuff over and over again, but there's different people out there who don't understand, and they get in a pickle when they get into these leasings. So I just want to just reiterate to you guys that it's a hard job trying to be an owner-operator. Be a company driver first. Learn how to navigate, learn how to manage your time and your money. Learn how to, you know, trip plan. Because the trip planning is what's going to make you the money as a lease or owner operator. Knowing where to get your fuel at. Knowing how much fuel to get when you go get that fuel. You know, you don't want to just go get your fuel at the most expensive place, but then at the same time turn around and get too much fuel or not enough fuel. You know what I'm saying? Because you weren't, you know, consistent, or you weren't, you know, you were lying to yourself about what your MPGs were. You know, learn what your MPGs are and keep them that way. You know, try to keep them, you know, consistent. I'm over here in Arizona and it was snowing, but now I'm out of the snow now. So hopefully it'll stay kind of sunny and dry for a little bit. Another thing that you got to look at is going to some of these truck stops, utilizing their point system that they have when you get fuel. You know, point systems are good to have. You know, they help you out. It's giving back to the drivers. Build your points up. I know it's easier said than done. You know, it's easier said than done. But like on my TA card, I got about $30-something on there. I got like 3,000 points on there because I don't use them. I let them build up. I'm constantly letting them build up. My Flying J card, Pilot card, I got a bunch of points on there too. My Loves card, I don't have a lot of points on there because I hardly ever use Loves. I normally use, you know, TA Petros and Flying Pilot and Flying J's. But I do use Loves every once in a while. It depends on where you go. Depends on, you know, where your company wants you to fuel at. Depends on where you go. Build those points up. Those points will come in handy later on. When you're, you know, when you're down and out and you really need something, you know what I'm saying? You got those points to fall back on, you know. Or you can buy merchandise in the truck stop with those points. Sorry, my camera started shaking. I got it on a handle, which is in the window, and it's propped up against the window. That's how I'm able to make videos without the camera vibrating and stuff. Anyway, I'm gonna have to take an intermission because my timer is about to cut off, and so I don't want the video to cut me off right in the middle of speech. So I will upload this video onto YouTube as the date, you know, December the 12th, 2015. So this is part 1, and I'll see you in a minute for part 2.